Hello my dear students, welcome back to Smarted by Prashanthi ma'am channel. So in today's sessions from 10th biology we are going to see the reproduction. So from the reproduction, female reproductive system. So ఈరోజు ఫీమేల్ రీప్రొడక్టివ్ సిస్టమ్ పార్ట్స్ ఏంటి, స్ట్రక్చరు, డెవలప్మెంట్ అంతా చూద్దాం. సో ప్లీజ్ డూ వాచ్ ద వీడియో ఫ్రమ్ ద బిగినింగ్ టు ద ఎండింగ్. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఎవరైనా ఫస్ట్ టైం ఛానల్ చూస్తున్నట్లయితే ప్లీజ్ డూ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ స్మార్టెడ్ బై ప్రశాంతి మ్యామ్ ఛానల్. Right, so without wasting time we'll start the session. So in today's sessions, female reproductive system is very important. So it is one of the wonder. Why? Because so the baby birth is going to take place in the female body only, especially in the reproductive system. So before going to the reproductive system, I am going to give brief account. So brief account ante entante just sexual reproduction ante enti. So avi any types anedi okasari chuddam. So sexual reproduction is nothing but involvement of two gametes. Okay, involvement of two gametes. There is a fusion of gametes takes place. Fusion of gametes. So what are the two gametes? So here the gametes are, one is ovum, another one is the sperm cell. So fusion of male, female and male gametes, female and male gametes together, it forms as a zygote. It forms as a zygote, and this single zygote is developing as a embryo to young ones. Okay, embryo to young ones. It is going to develop as a embryo to young ones. This is what sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction ante entante, so two gametes, male gametes and female gametes fusion jarugutundi. Fusion ayin tarvata so it is forming as a zygote structure. One cell, one single cell, but from the single cell only the life is going to start. So that's why zygote formation is very important during the fertilization time. So after that zygote is going to develop as an embryo to the young ones, so grown babies. So here this fertilization, this is what fertilization. So if fertilization, if it takes place inside the body, internal fertilization, outside the body, external fertilization. So two types of fertilizations takes place based on its body structure, right? So in the advanced animals, so maximum terrestrial animals, here we have to say about the terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals ante enti, land meeda unde jeevudu. So whatever that may be small or big. So okay, so internal fertilization takes place in the terrestrial animals. Okay, not all the terrestrial animals, there are some exceptions. We are talking about generally all the terrestrial animals will follow the internal fertilization. Means fertilization or fusion of gametes takes place inside the body. Next, external fertilization. External fertilization means the fusion of gametes, same fertilization takes place outside the body. In which conditions it is going to take place? So normally fishes and amphibians. Amphibians means frogs and toads. Okay, amphibians, the external fertilization takes place means here the gametes are released into the water. So here these are going to release the gametes into the water. So here this gamete in the water, the fertilization is going to take place, but this is in the rare conditions. Very less chances of fertilization takes place in the external fertilization, but in the internal fertilization, 100% chances of fertilizing the gametes. So here that is about the external fertilization and internal fertilization. After that we are going to see the female reproductive system. So female reproductive system mainly it is present in the below abdominal region. So what are the female reproductive organs? See in the diagram. So female reproductive organs are a pair of ovaries. Okay, a pair of ovaries are present. Ovaries are the female reproductive organs in the ovaries. Okay, ovaries. So ovaries means oval shaped organs. Okay, oval shaped organs. These oval shaped organs are present in the below abdominal region, that is nothing but pelvic region. Okay, so ovaries are going to be connected with the funnel. So connected with the ovarian funnel, or funnel also we can say, fallopian funnel. Okay, funnel, it is connected with the funnel, and that funnel is going to opens into the fallopian tubes. Fallopian tubes, and finally fallopian tubes are going to be opens into the uterus part. From the uterus part, so everything in the form of flow chart I am writing, you also write in your notebooks. So here uterus, so uterus to cervix parts. So here these are the main important parts in the female reproductive organs. So one by one we are going to say. So first ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ చూడండి డయాగ్రామ్లో ఓవరీస్ ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి, 2 ఓవల్ షేప్డ్ ఆర్గాన్స్. సో ఈ ఓవరీస్లో ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే, సో రఫ్ డయాగ్రామ్ ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఒకటి ఇది ఓవరీ అనుకోండి. ఇమాజిన్ దిస్ ఇస్ అన్ ఓవరీ. సో ఇట్ కంటైన్స్ మెనీ ఫాలికల్స్, రౌండ్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో these follicles are known as Graafian follicles. So in this Graafian follicles, it is producing the ovum. It produces the ovum, the female gamete. Okay, ovum. When the ovum is going to produce at the birth time only. So when we born, the Graafian follicles are going to produce the ovum, but actually the maturity of the ovum takes place at the adolescence period. So that will be 13 to 15 years. So here adolescence period, the matured ovum is going to be matured. So here this ovum, after it attains maturity, the ovums are going to be, imagine here from the Graafian follicles, the ovum is going to be, this Graafian follicle is going to rupture, it breaks, and it releases the ovums into the funnel. Now the ovum is going to enter into the funnel. So from the funnel, it is through the fallopian tubes, it is going to reach into the uterus part. Right? Clear? So first one, ovaries, female reproductive organs, which contains the bubble-like structures. Yes, these bubble-like structures are known as Graafian follicles, which is responsible to produce the ovums. So these ovums, during the time of adolescence, it matures in the sense ఏం లేదు, ఇక్కడ గ్రో అవుతుంది, సర్టన్ సైజ్ వరకు గ్రో అయిన తర్వాత ఈ ఫాలికల్ ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఫాలికల్ మెంబ్రెయిన్ బ్రేక్ అయ్యి ఆ ఓవం ఏంటంటే రిలీజ్ అయిపోతుంది. ఇక్కడ మనకు ఒక 1 మార్క్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, సో ఓవ్యులేషన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆర్ డిఫైన్ ఓవ్యులేషన్ మీన్స్ releasing of the ovum. So releasing of the ovum into the fallopian funnel. So releasing of the ovum from the Graafian follicles into the funnel is known as ovulation, right? So after the ovulation, it is received by the fallopian funnels, fallopian tubes into the fallopian tubes, also known as oviducts, right? So oviducts ani kuda anochu, fallopian tubes also known as oviducts. So after they enters into the uterus part, so in the uterus part, if the fertilization takes place, means if it receives the sperm cells, the fusion of gametes takes place. Sometimes the fertilization takes place even in the fallopian tubes also. Okay, fertilization takes place in the fallopian tubes also. ఇప్పుడు ఒకవేళ ఫర్టిలైజేషన్ జరిగిందంటే ఏం ఫామ్ అవుతుంది, జైగోట్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. సో జైగోట్ ఫామ్ అయిన తర్వాత ఇట్ అండర్గోస్ ఇంటూ ద డెవలప్మెంటల్ స్టేజెస్, న్యూ లైఫ్ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు స్టార్ట్. ఇఫ్ ద ఫర్టిలైజేషన్ డస్ నాట్ టేక్స్ ప్లేస్, ఫర్టిలైజేషన్ జరగకపోతే ఏంటంటే, సో ఇఫ్ ద ఫర్టిలైజేషన్ డస్ నాట్ టేక్స్ ప్లేస్, ద ఓవం, so here only ovum is there, the ovum along with this endometrial linings, along with the endometrial lining ante the uterus lining itself. Uterus inner walls are known as endometrium. Uterus inner walls are endometrium. So this endometrium is going to supplied with the blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels. So very blood capillaries are also there. It is completely filled with the blood. So by that time, what happens? This endometrial lining along with the ovum is going to be disposed out of the body. So it is going to be shed off from the body. So ఇది మొత్తం బాడీలోంచి బయటకు వచ్చేస్తుంది. దట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ మెన్స్ట్రువల్ సైకిల్ ఇన్ ఫీమేల్స్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యాపెన్ frequently after 28 days monthly. Okay, that is about the menstrual cycle. So this is all about the female reproductive system. So now we are going to the developmental stage. So okay, developmental stage. Now we are thinking that so now fertilization happened. So after fertilization, zygote formed, and that zygote is going to undergoes into the developmental stages. So mainly, what are the chief membranes which are formed around the embryo, and how the childbirth also takes place, everything. So next we are going to see. Don't skip, and also if you have any doubts, comment in the comment sections, right? Next we'll see the developmental stages. So developmental membranes, very important. Development of embryo. Why? Because everyone have to know this. So first one, when the embryo is going to be enters into the uterus part, so this endometrial linings and around the embryos, it is going to form the four important membranes. So first membrane is known as chorion. The membrane is known as chorion. And the second membrane is placenta. Next, amnion and allantois. And this allantois only later it forms as the umbilical cord. So this chorion, first when it enters into the endometrial linings, what happens? So imagine this is a uterus, right? So in the uterus, this endometrial linings is going to form as a finger-like projections around the embryo. And that was filled with the blood. That was completely richly supplied with the blood vessels, so it contains the blood. So this thin layer which forms around the embryo, the first membrane is known as chorion. See, chorion, the first membrane is chorion. Next one is placenta. See, placenta is very important. మనకి ఇక్కడ 2 marks క్వశ్చన్ కూడా ప్లాసెంటా నుంచి వస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే ప్లాసెంటా ఎలా ఫామ్ అవుతుందంటే, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫార్మ్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద సెల్స్ ఆఫ్ ది మదర్ అండ్ సెల్స్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫీటస్. ఓకే, it is formed from the cells. Placenta is a connection between the baby and the mother, right? In the beginning stages, placenta is a connective link, right? Why it formed as a connective link? Because it is formed from the cells of the mother and cells of the fetus together. Then only all the nutrients, gases, water, liquids, right, and even waste materials are going to be supplied and collected back. Okay, supplied means what are the supplements? So nutrients are going to be supplied to the baby, and at the same time water, even salts. So salts is nothing but electrolytes are going to be supplied, and water is going to be supplied, nutrients is going to be supplied, oxygen is going to be supplied to the mother, to the fetus. And so you can write what are the supplements are going to be received to the fetus. So oxygen, nutrients and water and electrolytes. See, water itself, it contains the electrolytes. So these all are going to be supplied to the fetus. And then what are the materials are going to be collected from the fetus? So collection is carbon dioxide and waste materials. Carbon dioxide and waste materials also collected by the placenta from the fetus. Okay, so next one is third membrane is amnion. So third, very thin membrane, but it is filled with the fluids. The fluids are known as amniotic fluids. Okay, amniotic fluids. This amniotic fluids will protect the fetus from the minor mechanical injuries. Minor mechanical injuries, not major. Minor mechanical injuries are going to be avoided by the amniotic fluids which is present in the amniotic sac. Okay, next one is allantois. So allantois also, it is a connection between the mother and fetus. So this allantois later it forms as an umbilical cord. So this umbilical cord only after the delivery the doctors are going to be separate. Okay, it is the connection of intestine, small intestine of mother and fetus is umbilical cord. Okay, this umbilical cord is going to supply all the digested material like food supplements from the mother to the baby. So this is all about the developmental membranes. So chorion, placenta, amnion, amniotic sac, amniotic fluids, then allantois later forms as the umbilical cord, and which is going to supply all the nutrients to the baby. So now after 280 days, so that is around 9-month period. After 280 days, so the baby was completely grown. Now what happens? So this uterus walls muscles plays very important role during the childbirth. So during the childbirth it plays very important role. So the muscles are going to start contracting rhythmically. So start contracting rhythmically. When times goes on, it is going to be more fast and strong. The force is going to be very strong and forcibly. So the mother is going to deliver the baby. So for this the muscles plays very important role, and along with the muscles even the pelvic bones also is going to put more effort to deliver the baby. So after the childbirth, so normally mammary glands are going to under the action. So mammary glands are going to develop and it releases the first fluid secretions from the mammary glands after the childbirth is known as colostrum. It will be a important MCQ or 1 mark answer. Colostrum. What is colostrum? The liquids which is secreted from the mammary glands for the first time after the childbirth is colostrum. So after that colostrum, later the milk secretion is going to start in the mother. So this is all about the development and female reproductive system. Okay, right? I hope you all understand the session. If you did not understand or if you have any queries, please comment in the comment sections, and at the same time please like, share and subscribe to the channel. So thanks for watching. Keep watching. So I will be back with the another session, right? Thank you.